What's going on, fellas? I've got a 2003 Ram 2500. I'm going to use this truck to point out to you how to change your brake light switch. I'm going to show you the fuse for that. I'm also going to show you or talk to you about a weird issue that I've seen that can cause only the third brake light to come on. So to start with, I'm going to point out to you the brake light switch is this piece right here. And real important, this is common on a lot of Chryslers, your new part is going to have this lever on there. Do not touch that lever. Don't touch it. You only touch that after you've installed it. A lot of people will get the part out of the box. Their first instinct is to click on that lever to rotate it. That is a single use adjustment lever. So you don't want to mess with that. Obviously, I've got a lot of stuff pulled out of the way already. There's just a front panel here that you can remove. Or you can try to change it just from the bottom here. It is doable. So this piece, you just rotate it counterclockwise and it will come right out. You can see the plunger there. When you hit the brake lever, it allows that plunger to come out fully. And there is a safety device on here, the connector. You have to push that orange piece out of the way in order for you to be able to disconnect it. So sometimes you can do it by hand. Most of the time you have to use a flathead screwdriver to wedge in there. So the orange piece pops all the way out and then you push on this lever. Let me pause the phone real quick so I can do that. You can see I just popped that out a little bit. And you have to continue to get it pushed out all the way, but you get the idea. So I've got that safety clip removed, and I can now push in on this piece and just disconnect it here. So when you install the new one, you'll go ahead and get it hooked up, reinstall that red piece, and then you basically push this piece in. Push it in and you rotate it. There we go. So after you've got it rotated, that's when you advance that little lever. Now, on the subject of the wiring, most of these wires go to the computer. They're for the operation, so it's so the computer can recognize when you're hitting the brakes, interrupt the cruise control, things like that, unlock your gear selector. But there's two wires specifically that are solely for the brake lights. So this tan red wire receives fused power, and when you hit the brakes, it connects the tan red to the white tan that's right next to it. That white tan wire goes to a few different places. For one, it goes directly to your third brake light. It also goes to a module called the, let's see, what's that thing called? Goes to a module called the, I guess it goes to your instrument cluster. Yeah, that's what Chrysler calls it. So the instrument cluster receives the input when you're hitting the brakes, and that communicates to the brake light on the left and the right. So if you have an issue with your instrument cluster, it can cause the third brake light to work, but not the brake lights on either side. That fuse power that I mentioned comes from fuse number 24, which is right there. So you'll want to check that as well if none of your brake lights work. Going to be this fuse right here. And before you start replacing parts, an option available to you, if you feel adventurous, you can take a paper clip and you can connect those two wires together and see if your brake lights come on. So if they come on when you connect them with the paper clip, but not when you hit the brakes, then you know that the switch is bad. If you connect it with the paper clip and they still don't come on, then probably your issue is not with your switch. So yeah, I hope I've given you enough info to troubleshoot the brake lights on your Dodge Ram. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.